Interesting news out of the NCAA as they released a memo to agents outlining new policies for agents to represent players who want to test their place in the NBA draft. And one of those rules requires agents to have a bachelor's degree. This prompted reaction from a lot of parties yesterday. It is being so widely described as the Rich Paul rule. Rich Paul has become a very powerful agent around basketball and does not have a bachelor's degree. LeBron James was among those who reacted. He tweeted first off, hashtag the Rich Paul rule, and then he added, can't stop, won't stop. They big mad and scared. Nothing will stop this movement and culture over here. Sorry, not sorry.
You delivered that perfectly.
I know. That's exactly how it sounded when LeBron tweeted it.
Won't stop.
They big mad.
They are big mad.
If we can get by for just one moment my delivery of what he said, which I grant you was probably ridiculous and yet accurate, let's get to what it actually is. I've seen this described in a lot of different ways, including as a bad look for the NCAA, who, again, now have mandated, to be clear, this is for players who want to find out where they might fall in the draft situation and still retain their eligibility and the right to go back. The NCAA can control that circumstance, and they've decided someone like Rich Paul cannot represent those guys. What was your reaction when you saw this?
It's just a misguided rule, right? And it's another time the NCAA does something to me that hurts players more than hurting agents, more than hurting the NBA, not giving these guys the opportunity to seek the type of advice or seek the type of representation that can help them through this process, regardless of a bachelor's degree, regardless of being part of the NBA or being confirmed by the NBA for 3 years. There's so many opportunities that kids are going to miss to be around good people who understand the game of basketball and winning in the game of basketball on and off the court, because the NCAA wants to, quote unquote, protect an athlete client. That's not what they are.
All it is the NCAA trying to throw its weight back around. That's exactly what it is. The NCAA missed in football a few years back when they said, oh, we won't have any more two-a-days, but guess what? Y'all will have another week of practice. That was a swing and a miss. This is another swing and a miss. If you want to protect the athletes, take different routes besides mandating the education requirements of an agent. That just, to me, doesn't make sense, swinging and a miss.
And also, too, it is such a blatant reason for a rule, a blatant reaction to one guy who, whether you feel like he's qualified or not, starting to make moves, starting to throw around his weight in a way that now Steve Kerr and coaches are complaining. The NBA now has a problem. These players have too much control, and it's been controlled by one agent.
The thing about it, to me, also, rules come into play because there's a problem. That's typically why you instill and install a rule. There hasn't been some sort of glaring issue to mandate this rule. NCAA, turn your attention elsewhere to something more important.
The problem is they ain't winning.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. There are a lot of people who have a problem with it. It's all of those who Rich Paul has upset the apple cart in the business. We're going well beyond just the NCAA, and there are people who, I think LeBron James had it exactly right. Whether I said it exactly the way he meant it or not, I think he had it exactly right. This is the Rich Paul rule. It is a bad look. He has taken a position of unusual power within the league and the sport, and I think it is making a lot of people uncomfortable. I understand the reaction that LeBron and many other athletes had to this yesterday. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, highlights, and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.